She just getting you back.
Hello. It's Thursday and it's time for Pop in Politics. I said it like that because we generally are live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. But tonight we're doing a special episode due to the RNC debate that was on last night. So this is a special episode of Pop in Politics. I'm KJ, and let me introduce you to my co-host. Of course, we have Crystal Jenkins and we have Shelly E. All right. As I always say, join the conversation by leaving a comment on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. We will check the comments periodically throughout the show. And don't just comment, subscribe. Subscribe so you get up to the minute content when we post. Hit that notifications bell so that also alerts you when we do post new content. And we certainly appreciate the support. Each time you subscribe to our channel, it does help to make our voice that much stronger. We are a necessary voice in news and entertainment. All right, ladies, let's set it off. How are you doing tonight?
Triggered.
Oh, okay.
Really good.
All right. Well, we are not going to keep you guys. We're going to come in here. We're going to come in here hard, and we're going to come in quick tonight. With our response.
Hold on, KJ. Is this a safe space?
No.
You know, this is a safe space.
It is unsafe. We are unsafe tonight.
Right.
So if you're easily triggered, I'm talking to our audience, if you are easily triggered, if you have sensitive ears, this is not the program for you. No, I am just joking with you guys. All are welcome. We do appreciate debate, respectful debate, as always, of opposing points. Certainly bring it on. Comment what you have to say. We will, again, check the comments, but we are not for the faint of heart. Right, ladies?
Right, exactly.
All right. So we're going to get right into it. We are talking about last night's RNC debate. As you guys know, this was the third debate, I believe. Third debate. Another one is coming up. I believe the date is December 6th, moderated by our girl, Megyn Kelly. I am so excited for that.
I'm looking for that. Looking forward to that.
I am as well. So she is moderating the next debate. So we will also respond to that one, which I'm sure will be full of fireworks. But tonight we're responding to last night's debate, which was held on ABC of all places. So before we really get into the clips, I want to get you guys' thoughts on just the overall feel of the debate. I'll start with you, Shelly. What did you think? Was it a good, how did this compare to the previous ones? And did you think who did you think won the night?
Oh, you mean that debate? It was status quo, status quo. Who won? Let me put it like this. Who didn't win? DeSantis did not win.
Mm-hmm. All right. Who do you think won, though?
If I had to choose, it was between Vivek and Niki Haley. Mm-hmm. I think Chris Christie and Tim Scott, they just need to go. Right. Just need to go. And the three in the middle. But it was not, there were some good moments, but it really was not, it was just boring overall.
What about you, Crystal? What are your thoughts? I mean, who did you think won, and how did this compare to the previous debates for you?
Trump won. Trump won because they keep putting this JV team together, spending all this money, and they don't have the chosen person on the stage. Like, I don't even understand why they allow themselves to do that. Like, somebody needs to stop it. I mean, like, Mr. Ron DeSanctimonious, like you're so presidential, you should be cutting this. You should be like, hey, we're not doing another debate on this type of forum without the other candidates because it's
pointless.
They're almost humiliating themselves. Like they seem really desperate, and I mean, but it was kind of fiery.
I thought
there were some fiery parts, but I'm talking about as a debate, it was just boring overall.
Yeah, I thought in comparison to the other debates, I did think this was one of the better ones. And I think because there were not as many people on the stage.
Okay.
So I felt like we did, or at least I did, get a chance to actually hear their platforms. There weren't so many people on the stage. It's getting narrowed down. Really, I mean, when you really think about it, Chris Christie and
Tim Scott
were kind of afterthoughts. Yeah. So I thought that it was one of the better debates in comparison to the last two, as far as content, as far as getting their points across. So as far as winners of the night, I think hands down it was Niki Haley.
No way.
Okay, well, I will say I am not a Niki Haley fan at all. But just being objective and somebody who had a very good combination between zingers and also just getting a content out, her message. I felt like Niki Haley did it. And she's actually been really the only one out of all these debates that has gained in the polls.
Yeah.
So it's certainly
that's why I say between Vivek and Niki Haley, as far as delivering and getting their messages out, Vivek was absolutely bullish yesterday.
Unhinged.
He was bullish.
He called himself unhinged.
Well, yeah, he did say that.
Yeah,
he was, and I actually like that in Vivek. I think that second debate, he was trying to live up to the criticism, but his third debate was more like his first one, and I think that's how he needs to be. Don't worry about what people are saying. You to this and to that. Be bullish, even though people may not like him. I still think he has a chance. Niki Haley, she came across absolutely confident. She was poised. She did get her message out. She was clear. Whether or not you agree with her points, she was able to disseminate her message. What really got me was that we talked about emotional women yesterday on the show. She was pissed at Vivek. She cannot stand him.
And rightfully so. And we'll get into that. But
only rightfully so on one thing, KJ.
Well, we'll get into it, but
no, rightfully so.
There, yeah, rightfully so, I believe. But before we get into that, as far as losers, I honestly, personally think it was Vivek. And he did not. I don't think he did himself gave himself any help. So if you look at it, the first debate, he came out strong like he did last night, very aggressive. Very bullish, as you said, Shelley. Second debate, so the first debate, he talked about everybody on the stage, said they were all hacks.
Super PAC puppet.
Right. Second debate, he comes out and he says, well, can we all get along? We all about, saying the same thing, because he fell in the numbers after the first debate due to his performance. Second debate, he came out, he wanted to get along with everybody. We're all the same. That he still fell after the debate. And then this one, he's back to Curry Ramaswamy. So, he's got the curry on top and he's spicy again. He's like this, trying to be this mini Trump. It's not working.
But wait a minute, the first debate, his numbers went up. His numbers went up some. The first debate.
It comes up.
The first debate, his numbers went up some.
Everybody generally gets a slight bump and then they come down. He came way down.
No, not after the first, after the second one he did.
Not only that, he comes off scripted. He's very scripted. He's trying to be another Trump and he is not. Trump is very he comes off as very confident. Trump is, he's easy. He's saying this stuff. Nothing is rehearsed. He's just saying this stuff.
I don't think so.
all night these zingers that Vivek tried to have, they just did not land.
And I think they did.
Not true.
Let me tell you, agree that he was scripted. I don't agree that
let's start off with the beginning of the night.
Vivek gave what the people wanted, which was strength. They wanted to see the old Vivek.
The numbers aren't showing it. Let's start off with let's see here. Let's start off of the night. So this is what I wanted to show. So this is where the people were asked about. Okay, and this is something that I wanted to talk about, because on the show, if you guys have watched, much of the criticism that we have said about this JV team is nobody is stepping up. Nobody is giving it to Trump. They seem very scared to take on Trump.
Take on Trump for what, though? Why would they pick him on?
Well, because he's show that they're actually, in this to win the primary. I am taking this as an unbiased person. This is what we.
No, you're not. You're biased. We all are. We all are.
I'm looking at this through the lens of, all of these guys are vying for the nomination. At least they claim to be vying for the nomination. So they should be taking it to Trump. And I'm not. You guys have said this, no? And maybe not you, Crystal.
Oh, no. I think DeSantis does need to step it up.
No, say what? You cannot take it to Trump when all his policies are what worked, and you're probably going to do the exact same thing. You would be an idiot.
Again,
for the nomination.
From their perspective, if they are in a debate with other people vying for the nomination, they're supposed to say why Trump is bad and why they're good.
No.
No.
Let's see the clip.
Yeah, here's the clip. So let me see here.
And I had a problem, KJ. I had a problem with they even starting debate with this question. And honestly, somebody, Ron DeSanctimonious is supposed to be a leader, should have checked them for that being the first question.
Well, let's see what the question is.
A very good first question. They're not here to be Trump's sidekick.
Right. Well, you are if you open up the debate with Trump.
He was there.
Let's see the clip.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So I hope I'm doing this right. 1 second. All right. So this is where they open up the debate, asking them, you're vying to be the president. Why you and not Trump? This is a question I would ask. I'm going to ask.
I thought it was a good question.
Yeah. Why you, not Trump? All right. So here we are. Let's see. All right. Guys, bear with me. I'm not technically savvy. Okay.
Nominee to face Joe Biden a year from now. This country is in trouble, and the elites that have put us here, they don't care about you. They don't care that you're having to grapple with higher grocery prices or have higher gas prices. They don't care that your family's less secure because of the open border that's allowed drugs and even terrorists to come into this country. Well, I care. I am not going to sit idly by and let this country continue its downward spiral. We need leadership, and we need it now. I'll take the hits. I'll take the arrows. I'll take the slings, because ultimately it's not about me. It's about you. I will fight for you. I will make sure to lead this country's revival, and I will win for you and your family. Actions speak louder than words. We don't have time for excuses, and it's not something that we're going to be able to have all these distractions. As a veteran, I will get the job done. Now, if you look where we are now, it's a lot different than we were in 2016. And Donald Trump's a lot different guy than he was in 2016. He owes it to you to be on this stage and explain why he should get another chance. He should explain why he didn't have Mexico pay for the border wall. He should explain why he racked up so much debt.
All right, so yeah, I know you guys don't like to
that
listen.
Dude has a pocket protector. Yeah. I am positive.
I know. He is dorky. But so he's answering the question why he felt like he should be there other than Trump. So this is Vivek's response. So let's see here. You guys love Vivek. You ride him, you want to ride the curry sack. So let's see what he said.
I made some curry chicken tonight.
Yep.
Period.
All right.
In honor of Vivek.
Sir, the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk.
Period.
10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. You think the Democrats, I mean, we've got Kristen Welker here. Do you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation?
Bam.
Answer the question. Go.
Go. Go.
So that was his response. And let me make sure I did. Oh, good. So that was his response to why him and not Trump. He didn't answer the question. He didn't answer it.
Yeah, he didn't answer it.
Answered it.
You are still on this that people only had to answer within a certain box. No. Now don't get me wrong. What Ron DeSantis said was correct, and he needed to say that. His delivery is like, okay, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. I'm not disagreeing with what Ron DeSantis said either. Vivek, he put his response 3 parts. He talked about the media, he named names, and he talked about the
question was why you and not
that's why.
And honestly, a leader, if any of them had been a leader, because I'm not a Vivek fan. I love the fight back though. I love the clap back, but I'll never vote for Vivek. But what I will say is a leader would have said, don't ask me about somebody who is a non-MFN factor, okay? Don't ask me about somebody who's not here. We're here. You're going to talk to us about us, and we're not going to discuss somebody who didn't have the courage to come on stage and fight us. Don't date me like that. That would have been a leader's answer. But you sit up here allowing these people
because he's allowing them to feed the narrative.
Yes.
That they trying to make him follow their narrative.
Yes.
But Trump is the front runner. So why wouldn't you go after the front runner if you're trying to?
The question was fine. The question was fine. I'm talking about his response. They're trying to make him only pigeonhole him to answer in one way.
I didn't like the question.
But, I mean, it's not the question. First of all, is just it's a standard question you ask in a debate. You generally in a debate, everyone is trying to get to the person ahead of you. Right now, Trump is the front runner. So you attack the front runner. No,
that's why they've been playing us. I'm telling you guys, the way that you do this is you literally act like he's not here. Don't ask me about him. I will tell you about me, and I am vying for this spot. Everybody up here, give us the respect that we deserve. It's kind of like that island question that they asked. Like the person, they're like so disrespectful to them, and they can't even see it that these right wing,
they've asked them. I mean, okay, we can see if Megyn Kelly asked them this next week.
That's standard question. I think the question was going
off about this. She's been saying this for multiple weeks. Again, she's somebody I think all of us have watched periodically throughout our show. She's a conservative. She has said multiple weeks, these guys need to come out hard against Trump. If this is a contest or they're trying to beat Trump, talk about why you should be the candidate out other than Trump. And nobody did it except for DeSantis and I think maybe Nikki Haley. But Vivek, he really didn't do it. He didn't even answer the question.
That's okay. What he did was fine to me.
Mini Trump. And it's not working for him. I mean, I know you guys swing from his his sack, the curry sack. You swing from it really hard. But you two are the only ones in the zoo, swinging
No,
from it.
so here's what
And,
I'll
and
say.
nobody else
He did not let them control his response. Basically, he didn't. He was not pigeonholed into a canned response.
Right.
And
He
here's
didn't answer the question.
And
That's
here's
okay. It worked. Whatever he did worked.
It's not working.
And here's what I'll say about that, because we are looking at the polls that the media feeds us. I watched one of the podcasts that Pat Bet David did, and they did a poll, and it was 150,000 people, or it's like 100,000 people or something like that. And everybody there said they liked what Vivek, and they believed that Vivek won. So that's what I'm telling you. The media is playing this game. They want to tell us who they think won so we can jump on that bandwagon. I like to fight back. Vivek did exactly what they do to us. You're going to answer my question because I'm here. You're getting on my nerves. So just the way you asked me a stupid question about somebody who I support, I'm going to throw a stupid question about you.
Well, let's move on. We do have to move on to the next clip here. So this one is one you had posted, Shelly, that you wanted to talk about. So let's see here. All right.
You look mad.
Ooh. Oh, I'm not mad.
No, I said Vivek just looked mad. He's mad.
All right. So this is what you posted. Okay. So let's see.
Just heard on this issue on what you would tell the prime minister?
Not in terms of what I would tell the prime minister, no. In fact, I would go one step further. The founding vision of Israel was based on the idea that they don't want to depend on anybody else's sympathy or direction in defending themselves. So what I would tell Bibi is that Israel has the right and the responsibility to defend itself. I would tell him to smoke those terrorists on his southern border. And then I'll tell him as president of the United States, I'll be smoking the terrorists on our southern border. That's his responsibility. This is our responsibility. That's how we move forward. But I want to be careful to avoid making the mistakes from the neocon establishment of the past. Corrupt politicians in both parties spent trillions, killed millions, made billions for themselves in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, fighting wars that sent thousands of our sons and daughters, people my age, to die in wars that did not advance anyone's interests, adding $7 trillion to our national debt. And Joe Biden sold off our foreign policy. Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, got a $5 million bribe from Ukraine. That's why we're sending $200 billion back to that same country. The fact of the matter is the Republican Party is not that much better. You have the likes of Niki Haley, who stepped down from her time at the UN. Bankrupt or in debt was her family. Then she becomes a military contractor. She joins the board of Boeing and otherwise, and is now a multimillionaire. So I think that that's wrong when Republicans do it, Democrats do it. That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
All right, Mr.
We've got two of them on stage.
Ramaswamy, thank you.
I'm here for
it. Look, he's not lying. Number one. Number two, let me say this first. I really thought when he said BB, I just felt like he should have said Mr. Netanyahu compared to his age, Vivek's age and BB Netanyahu's age. But that was just like, it sounds weird coming from him saying BB because he's so much younger. Nevertheless, what he said was absolutely true. He said some of the things I say all the time, again, about Republicans and Democrats. We spend just as much money. We get in on, the crony capitalism on our side. We might not do it to the degree or the numbers of the Democrat Party, but we do. And then we want to overlook our side and say that, we want to wave the white flag, that we have the, the upper echelons of the morality polls or whatever. Bull. Nikki Haley, other Republicans have government contracts. Like he said, she was in debt. All of a sudden, she gets a military contract or defense contract, and now they're millionaires. I'm sick of anybody who does it, Democrat or Republican, who keeps sucking the taxpayers' money, the resources, and then pretending like, we are doing this in your favor or for your good. Where's the good coming from? My check, I need refunds to my check. You take it out, but I don't see any good coming from it.
Let me ask you this. So, because I was confused on this part. So the way he's telling it, and again, I am not a Nikki Haley fan. I would never vote for her. But the way that he is telling it, she was working in the Trump White House as the UN ambassador, public office. She went bankrupt. she didn't have any money as the UN ambassador. It was actually kind of embarrassing. He said that she went bankrupt. She didn't have any money. She was poor. Her whole family was poor. She got out after the White House, and now she's working for a government contractor, and now she's making money. So
and on the board of Boeing.
One second. My question is, how is that bad? Isn't that the opposite of the Bidens, where they've gotten rich while working in public office? She was poor the whole time she worked in public office and then got rich when she got out. So how is that bad?
The problem is that most politicians go and you shouldn't be getting rich.
She was
by
poor.
Going to public office.
She was poor the whole time.
No. Now they're multimillionaires. Just like we have Congress has all of these rules against public citizens. This insider they get the insider trading. They get all of the dibs and the bids, right. And then they get to advance their own pay and their self-interest. It does not benefit us. Why? They make rules for us, but they don't abide by the same rules.
That's what I'm confused on. If you go by what he's saying, and again, correct me, I'm really just trying to understand this. She was poor the entire time she was in the office. She didn't make any money until she got out.
It wasn't entire time. I know he said poor. I think what he's saying is that, she did. It wasn't like she went from a check. She went bankrupt, but not because of her UN salary. They do get paid pretty hefty salaries. They went bankrupt on their own private businesses. Whatever.
I mean, she wasn't making. She didn't get rich off of the government.
Well, here's the thing.
My point is, KJ. The point, I think he's trying to make is that people go into government, the public, and they look at it like a big tit that they just drained from. Right. You should not be able. If we can't do it, they shouldn't be able to do it.
You haven't answered my question. Well, how did she do it? If she was bankrupt while working for government.
He's saying that she's able, because she's in the government, she's able to get the contract, so she knows all of the ins and outs. Now her husband has this defense contract.
Yes.
So she basically has insider trading information, if you will, to get the contract.
Government.
Well, it doesn't matter. It could have been inside the government. She went bankrupt, and because of her stature and her name, and she had to do it after Trump, because you remember he was not for wars. The people that were neocons did not like him. Right. And so after she got from under the Trump administration, she made it big on
defense contracts.
But she wasn't working for government. She wasn't working for government. So she did.
No, she wasn't working for government then. But they saying that.
But contractors work for the government. Like you have
contractors. They're civilians, but they work for the government. Yeah. So what he's saying is that because of sort of this insider knowledge, they're using that, and this is how she's her and her husband, whatever, getting rich off of the defense contracts. And these same contracts, again, defense. He's saying that these defense contracts, they need a war to make the money.
And that's what Trump didn't like. He used to say that. He said, they don't like me very much. These war hogs. He said,
that's why they call them, right.
Yes, he said, because I don't want war, I don't want death. And so my issue, I felt like Vivek should have had an altar call right there, because when I say that man was preaching, he was preaching, and they are not.
I agree there. Yes,
they're not used to people just literally saying it like it is, and just calling people out on their bull. Niki Haley has been able to be untouched almost, because she's this female and she's almost waiting for somebody to say something, and he just took the gloves off and he was like,
let's talk about that. He took the gloves off. This is the next moment where he really unleashed on Niki Haley.
Good for her. Good for him.
All right, let's see here. Okay.
She called him scum.
She did. Well, when we get to that part, I'm going to have a comment about that too.
All right, so let's see. I think this is it.
answer your question, which is about looking at families in the eye. In the last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my daughter out of your voice.
Adult daughter. The next generation of Americans are using it. And that's actually the point. You have her supporters propping her up. That's fine. Here's the truth. The easy answer is actually to say that we're just going to ban one app. We got to go further. We have to ban any U.S. company actually transferring U.S. data to the Chinese.
So I think we got the gist of it. So just to give you guys some background, if whoever may not have seen it, basically the moderators asked the candidates what are they going to do to stop China from encroaching on the U.S., specifically TikTok. And now, if you recall in the last debate, they asked us a similar question. Vivek is the only one, I believe, at the time that uses TikTok. Because remember, we all kind of conservatives went banned, TikTok banned. And so he's saying, he's referring to that. And then he said, as you can see, he kind of questioned her mother. He said she had to get her own house in order as far as being a mother.
Yes.
Her daughter is on
all
TikTok.
of that.
I mean, what I thought that was crossing the line.
I thought that was a little low.
All of that. Here's the thing. I'll say it just like Larry Elder says, and I'm saying this for you, Vivek. You can call me anything. You could call me names. Just don't call me wrong. What he said was exactly correct. You're going to talk to me, a grown man, about being on TikTok, and your daughter is on TikTok. Mind you, it's an adult daughter. When you hear daughter, you think, oh, little kid. Her daughter's 25, and she's been on there for some time, like he said. And he said, I can talk about your adult daughter. You remember the last election when they said we couldn't talk about the adult son, and you see what kind of mess we was in? I feel like an adult child is fair game. And if you're going to come at me, I'm going to hit you harder. Good job, Vivek.
So I thought it was a little low to bring in family members who are not even in the political realm. However, I don't know her daughter, what she does on TikTok or whatever. But Niki Haley was absolutely upset, and I can understand that. Again, I can understand her being upset in that moment.
You need to get your house in order. I was like,
well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I can see her being upset as a mother because he brought her daughter in. Her daughter's not on the stage. Her daughter is not a political figure. She's done no congressman or whatever. She doesn't do all of that, or she's not in those roles. So I can see that nothing she's done politically, her daughter is not for fair game. So she's not even in the political realm. But having said that, what he said it made sense. It did make sense. I just would not have brought her daughter into it.
And I feel like honestly, like when you're talking about how she came at him at the second debate, he was going to wreck her. Like he was coming. She was so mean. Y'all remember like the second debate? She was like, yeah, you're TikTok and you're not.
That was after the first debate though. I mean, he was wrecked her.
I'm glad he did. Don't be afraid to hit a girl. Don't be afraid to hit a girl, guys. Seriously, when they coming at you, you restrain them with your strength. And she
can give it back. Don't get me wrong. Niki Haley can give it back. She can give it back. Yeah, I just don't think her daughter I don't think her daughter should have been in the conversation.
Yeah, I don't mind. I think it's all fair game. As far as the candidates, he came at her hard in the first one, then she gave it back to him in the second one, and then now we'll see.
But your daughter, your mama, your daughter, your mama, your sister, your brother.
Okay. So we are running to the end of the time. So I mean, what do you all think? I know you guys are big Trump fans, and Trump does look like he's going to take away. He's going to run away with this. But just out of the stage here, do you think anybody made any headway here as far as the overall election? Really?
No, I really don't. The one thing I do want to point out, might not have time. I was upset that none of them, when they talk about Social Security, they all pretty much had the same answer. Raise the retirement age, for newcomers, let the Social Security stay intact for the current people who are getting their money, which they should because they paid into it. But none of them had any other creative solutions. One solution that I would have liked to have heard from any of them was to say, those people who want to remove their money, remove it, because you can make more money on the market than you can with Social Security. And again, back to me, why is the government managing our money for us and we don't get a high rate of return on it? There's no return on that. And it's been rated several times by politicians, by Congress over many years. They keep rating it. So I don't need the government to take money from me and manage my money for me, and I'm getting less than the rate of return that I could get at a daggone bank. I want the option to take my money out. None of them had any other creative solutions.
Yeah,
I guess my final thing is these dudes are all, like, in my opinion, besides Vivek, are just dorks. They're so dumb. They allow this media to, like, back them in the corner, ask them stupid questions, like the one about let's tell the whole world that we don't have enough ships. Let's tell China we don't have enough ships. What are we going to do to get more ships? And then they fell right into it. Vivek's the only one that did not answer that question, and they got mad because he didn't answer the question. Like, literally, we are so stupid. China is over there, like, laughing at us because here's Chris Christie, Chris Krispy Kreme. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put submarines. China, I'm going to put submarines underneath your... Like, we are so, I can't even believe we're this stupid.
Niki Haley tried to salvage it later on. She tried to salvage it.
And we got mad that Trump is like, I'm not coming there with y'all. Like, y'all are dumb and y'all are stupid. And honestly, between Niki and Ron DeSantis, who I actually think will do a good job, but he's being, like, almost like drug into this muddy thing that it used to be. Like, it's just dumb. Anyway, we got to be smarter than this, honestly. And we should be, like I said yesterday, we should be spamming the RNC. We should be spamming all our congressmen because it's our life. We're going to have to deal with the consequences of these dummies.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it's good for the democracy, even though Trump is running away with this election. I do think it is good for the democracy to have a debate. I've always supported and encouraged debates. I'm actually glad that we're not like Democrats, and they are actually debating, even though Trump is way ahead in the polls. As far as, the candidates themselves, you guys know that, I do like DeSantis. And honestly, I felt like he was the only one last night that showed that he not only talked about what he could do, he talked about what he has done. Out of all those people talking about wars, talking about China, talking about Ukraine, talking about Israel, Ron DeSantis is the only one that has actually served. And not only did he serve, but he was actually in the Iraq war. He talked about how Trump racked up our debt. He didn't build the wall. And DeSantis has really shown how it's done. And he talked about it. And, when they asked him about Israel, he talked about how he brought home 700 people when they were over there during the Hamas attack. They asked him about Iraq. He said he's actually served in Iraq. When they asked him about the campuses and how you have these pro-Hamas terrorist groups acting on campuses. He said in Florida, he deactivated a pro-Hamas group. They talked about China. He said, I've banned China from working land, for bringing in land here in Florida. So he not only can talk a good talk, he may not be snarky like Vivek, but he's done it. He's done it.
I think he has.
And, for me, I'm not always looking at the guy who can throw out a good rehearsed line. I want the guy who's going to be smart enough to get us out of the situations that we've been in. And he shows the talks that he can do it. And he's shown that he has done it actually in Florida. That's just my thing.
And that's fair. That's fair. Like, that's why I said of all of them, the only one that I would vote for is Ron DeSantis. But what I will say is that, like, I want him to step up because honestly, this is ridiculous. What Vivek said was very true. Why are we doing things that's not working for us anymore? Like, we have these liberal people who set us all up and we're going to ask you questions. No, I'm not playing your game anymore. And honestly, they should really make it happen. Like, conservatives should make Tucker, they have enough money. Have their own debate.
What are you talking about? Step up. I mean, Vivek
Have
said
their own debate.
what do you mean? If you talk about what Vivek, let's talk about what Vivek said. He said that he wanted to have moderators, Joe Rogan, who is not conservative. He said the guy from the Five, okay, and Elon Musk. Elon Musk don't care about this. And
he
said Tucker Carlson, Elon, and Joe Rogan.
And Joe Rogan.
I mean,
but KJ, what you don't understand. What you're not understanding is, regardless of them, conservatives listen to them. Look,
that's right. That's right.
That's what he's saying.
They don't have to be conservative. They do represent. They get a lot of people who listen to them. They have a huge following.
Yes.
So I can see why he said those three because they
were clickbait.
No. They know the voices. They know the voices and the questions to ask that conservatives
wouldn't ask conservative questions. Joe Rogan is talking about mushrooms and climate change. Conservatives don't care about that.
On one episode, KJ, come on. They do pull in a lot of conservatives.
The only thing Joe Rogan says conservative is against the mandates. He is supporting RFK.
No, what he's saying is
it doesn't matter who he's supporting.
It does.
He asks questions that we want to ask.
Exactly.
For us.
And I think that's what you probably are not understanding. What he was saying is y'all don't have the conservative ear anymore. It's just the truth. The mainstream media has
conservative. I mean,
the mainstream media has betrayed the trust of conservatives.
Exactly. So the questions that are being asked are not representative of what conservatives need to be talking about. But Joe Rogan, I don't know, Elon Musk, whoever else he said, Tucker Carlson, they have the ear of conservatives. They do.
I agree with Tucker Carlson.
I don't care who they support and who Joe Rogan is voting for. It doesn't make a difference who voting for. He knows how to ask the questions that need to be asked.
And honestly, what he was saying was an example. He was throwing it out like, why are we talking to these people when there's so many other relevant conservative voices that we can listen to?
They're not conservative.
Whether or not they know the voices, they know what the conservatives think.
It was an example, is what I think. He was basically saying, y'all are irrelevant. Why are we talking to relevant conservatives? He could have said Megyn Kelly. He could have said anything.
Point he was trying to make was that these people, specifically this NBC night, they're generally leftists. NBC, they're leftist, liberal.
No, he said they're liars. He said they were liars.
They basically shill for the Democrat Party.
No, right. So why not have people who
Rogan is not conservative. Joe Rogan is even conservative. He doesn't ask questions that they want to know the answers to, which
you're hung up on the name.
It doesn't matter if Joe Rogan is a conservative or not. It doesn't matter. He does know how to ask questions that conservatives want answers to.
Exactly. If you hear his sentiment, basically he was saying that the people in front of us have betrayed our trust. You pushed the Russia hoax. You lied on the 2020 election.
But I wouldn't use those people to do a good
those were examples.
Substantive.
I think honestly, KJ, I think he was just throwing it out there as like examples of the people who have the conservative.
Exactly.
That's all he was saying.
I do have to acknowledge we have a super chatter tonight.
Thank you.
So we have here, let's see, Chadwick, he says mushrooms and climate change. Yes, indeed. You should, if you are familiar with Joe Rogan, many of his podcasts are about mushrooms. He does talk about alternative medicines.
Okay.
And so that's why I said that. And he's a climate change person. So he's had hours and hours of podcasts literally about climate change.
And he's also had hours and hours of podcasts asking good questions.
I agree.
And he's supporting many. In the past, he supported Bernie Sanders, and now he's supporting RFK, which RFK is running as an independent currently.
Oh, what? That's his vote.
Well,
he still knows how to ask questions.
It does matter because RFK
still knows how to ask questions.
everybody knows how to ask questions.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Well,
No,
he would
they
ask
don't.
questions that matter to him. That's generally what moderators do.
No, that's not the role of a moderator. The role of a moderator is to ask questions that the people.
Are you even saying that when you just sat here and said a moderator shouldn't ask why can you to these people in a debate, why you and not the front runner? So how would I even listen to what you just said?
That's something that people want to hear.
Literally, that somebody shouldn't ask, why do you think you should win over the front runner?
You think that the people need to hear that?
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely.
Anytime you're in a race,
it's irrelevant.
And you want to win.
It's irrelevant.
I want to know, how are you going to beat the front runner? Yeah.
So maybe it was
just there.
Why do y'all keep saying that Trump, mind you, 45 for life? Why do y'all keep saying that he's the front runner when he's not there? Y'all are not playing the game. Y'all not playing the game. Y'all not playing the game.
He is the front runner. He is.
Okay.
He's. I see. He is the front runner. But wait a minute. I want to point out. As much as Tim Scott, I think needs to go. Certainly, Chris Christie. Tim Scott did have brought up a good point as far as bringing jobs and manufacturing and energy back to the United States. I think he was pretty much the only one that mentioned that, having manufacturing back, opening up the Key State XL pipeline. So he was really specific on that. Again, he's struggling, but he did have some good points. So he, again, out of all of them up there, he was the only one that I recall talking about that, the energy being energy. And then they chimed in, I think Niki Haley chimed in about being energy dominant, not just energy independent. But kudos to Tim Scott for that, although I think he's struggling very much.
Well, he did show his girlfriend. He brought his girlfriend on stage. That made some headlines. People were talking about, whether or not he was gay, I think people were saying, and he brought his girlfriend on stage. Do you think that gave him any type of, I don't know, I don't really care, but
Tim is
whatever. I do notice that after the debate, Vivek did not shake Niki's hand, or they didn't, they didn't shake each other's hand. They sort of avoided each other.
And honestly, okay, I'm gonna bring it back to the culture. KJ, if you don't like somebody or you trying to beat somebody out, the best thing that you can do is make them irrelevant and stop saying they're the front runner. And so what I'm saying is if they had played into the way that they're supposed to go, they would say, "Who's Trump? Who's Trump? I don't know who you're talking about." That's the point that I'm trying to make.
That's what you're saying. You're trying to make a psychological thing.
But how can you even? I mean, what? Well, how does that?
People do it all the time. People do it all the time in
competition. Trump is. I mean, people do it in Trump. You guys even said, one of you just said who won. I asked who won, and somebody said Trump. Who said that?
I did. I'm a watcher. I'm not fighting against Trump.
No, she's talking about like a psychological thing. KJ's being very literal. But you're talking about a psychological. I know what you're saying.
I'm not fighting against Trump, but if I was fighting against Trump, I would have said, "Who's Trump? I don't know who he is. Only people I know is who's on the stage."
I mean, to me, I get kind of what you're saying, but to me, in order for that to work, I would have said Trump is a chump for not showing up.
That's not working. They already did that. That's not working.
Right. Well, no, nobody's ever. I don't think anybody.
Have they not? They've been doing it for the 2 seconds.
I'm not saying. I'm saying I don't think, and this is what I think Shelley has said this in the past. I don't think anybody has stood up to Trump in this election. They haven't.
Nothing.
Even DeSantis. None of them, except Chris Christie. But he's just he's just nasty and just.
He's trying to get zingers in.
But
what have they not said about Trump that they could say about Trump? That's what I'm telling you. They brought up his indictments. They brought up his personality. They brought up the fact that he's not showing up for debate. It's not working. The most you can do for Trump right now is act like he's irrelevant.
No, I don't really think anybody's gone hard against Trump. I mean, I've watched past debates. Even when Trump, remember when Trump was running in 2016? he was way down on the totem pole, as far as people who they thought was going to win. Remember in the beginning, Jeb Bush was the one everyone thought was going to win. And every single time Trump took it to him. He talked about everything under the sun when it came to Jeb Bush and the Bush family. And it worked. You don't go in, a debate is about knocking down the person on top. Nikki Haley, she's behind Ron DeSantis. So she was going at Ron DeSantis. Vivek, he's behind Nikki Haley. So he's going after Nikki Haley. They all should have been doing that, but also you go after Trump. You want to knock him down some. And nobody did that because people are obsessed with it.
I see both sides. I just don't think whatever they did, just definitely again, DeSantis
what they're gonna knock him down with.
From the pack.
With what? With what? Jeb Bush, unfortunately, had a lot to work with. His family is a mess. With what?
He had a lot to work with. I know people feel like Trump is untouchable.
No.
But oh yeah.
I don't feel like he's untouchable. And I
just don't think that nobody is able to do it so far.
They haven't tried to me. That's what I'm just saying. Nobody's tried.
But with what? That's what KJ. Okay, you are competing against Trump. What would you bring up? The man had almost a flawless presidency. They had to make up stuff on him. What would you take him down with?
Well, firstly, 2016 Trump and 2023 Trump are totally different people, in my opinion. We don't have 2016 Trump. Number one, he's much older. We'll have an 80-year-old Trump. Now, yes, he's doing much better than Biden. Right. He's got a lot of energy and things like that. But when you measure him up to Biden, on paper, they're still two old people. They're still two old people. That's number one. Number two, he did not drain the swamp. Trump was elected to drain the swamp, and he had the swamp right around him the entire time. He did not fire Fauci. He did not fire Comey. We were stuck with these two people, and they ruined the country. They ruined them. And he could have fired them, and he did not. Then he brought us the Trump vax. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a large segment within the conservative party that are against this, that feel like this vaccine, and I can't really say it on here or I'll be deplatformed, but there have been a lot of issues with this, and rightfully so. They need to go after it. It was the Trump vax, and he needs to be brought to task for it. Number three, he is in so much legal trouble right now.
And why?
It's not his fault. I know it is not his fault. I agree. He is unfortunately been the victim of a corrupt media, a corrupt Democrat Party. Well, guess what? This is what he got. This is what's happening. And so what happens here is, in a general election with Trump, we're not talking about Biden. We're not talking about Hunter's crack habits. We're not talking about their corruption. We are going to be talking about Trump and how they have hurt him, how they have come after him. And yes, that matters to me as a Republican and you all, but it does not matter to the average American. They don't care. They want to know, how are you going to stop us from paying all this money at the pump, paying all this money on taxes, getting us out of these wars. And Trump.
So when are the Republicans going to step up and start telling them?
This is some of the stuff.
When are the Republicans going to step up and start telling them about these issues?
Look, KJ, you know what? I like I said, I asked you for it. You gave it, and honestly, you just showed Nikki Haley and your boy that you like so much, the pocket protector guy, how to win the next debate. I hope they're listening. I hope they're listening.
Right.
We'll see. Again, I like Trump.
That was good.
I do like
And like I said, I love Trump.
He's going to win. But these people, they're not stepping up. They're not. I want to see a fight. I'm a fighter.
Me too. That's why I loved it. KJ.
Fighter.
I loved it. I loved it.
If you want to win, for
Fight
it.
for it.
Call him out. Call him by his name. You got to say.
You said the Trump backs.
I know. Like what?
All right, guys. So you see, we're all on the conservative side, but we put forward a good discussion. Give you something to think about. So that's what we're here for. We're not like The View. Everybody agrees and they, go on the same thing, and they just like shills for the Democrat Party. We all have our own points of view, and it is what it is. All right, ladies. I know we have to go. Final thoughts. I am looking forward to this next debate. I am
too. Oh, and keep in mind, that's the next debate is December the 6th, and that's also we need to let our audience know that's going to be our last live show for the year. I think, right?
It's a Wednesday.
Yep, it's a Wednesday.
Oh wow. Okay, well that'll be good. So we'll report live. I would like to, since that's early.
We'll go out with a bang.
I think the candidates should not show up.
You think what?
I think the candidates should not show up. And I love Megyn Kelly. I think think they should say we're not gonna be humiliated again.
Well, I do think that they should just have the three. Well, I hope Trump.
By then it's going to be 4 or 3. I think it'll be 4 or 3 by then.
Yeah, I hope so. Because the other two, Chris Christie and poor blessed salt heart.
I know Tim Scott. He's trying. He is trying.
Just get a life, like, dude.
He is trying.
Yeah, he's trying, but just like the turtle that he looks like, he just
Louder Crowder said, I never met a boring black guy.
Oh.
He's a boring black guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Again, you can catch us next Wednesday at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. We are smart, we are edgy, we are conservative. We are here to provide you with a conservative perspective on local and national pop and culture and news. So thank you so much for watching.
Oh, I'm sorry, KJ. Sorry. One thing, we got to tease it. Our audience, Marilyn Mosby, was convicted today. We're going to talk about it, I'm sure, next week.
Oh, yes, she was. She was convicted today. Marilyn, we can talk about it now. You guys, I know we got to go.
I got a few minutes.
Oh, but yeah. Well, yes, she was. So Marilyn Mosby is a social justice prosecutor here in Baltimore City. If you guys have not been following, so when we say social justice, these are these George Soros funded prosecutors who are not prosecuting crime. And when we see these types of prosecutors in cities all over the country, crime increases. We are one here in Baltimore City under her reign of terror. We did see crime skyrocket. She was not reelected in the recent election. But while she was in this election, we did find out charges were brought against her. You want to go over the charges, Shelley?
So she had 2 charges for perjury and then mortgage fraud, because during COVID, not only did she get a raise during COVID, her salary went up, but she put in for to take from her retirement a loan. And with that loan, she purchased homes in Florida. Now, on a hardship loan. Now, I don't know anybody who has a hardship and then you're able to go and purchase homes in Florida. Not primary residences, but secondary and even tertiary, because she had 2 homes in Florida, right? Then she had this business, the travel business, consulting business, whatever that is. But nevertheless, she had 4 federal charges that she's brought up on. Now, all of last year, pretty much, maybe the last year and a half, she and her legal team have been doing all these maneuvers, to either get the trial dismissed, move the trial, delay the trial, certain witnesses, back and forth. Well, finally, the trial was moved at her request to Greenbelt. I don't know why she did that. Okay, because people in Baltimore City actually like her. Too many people, for my taste. But she had a better chance in Baltimore of being acquitted on most, if not all, of the charges. But today in Greenbelt, down there where the federal people kind of live,
DC
they prosecuted her. They convicted her on 2. I was giving her trying to give her the benefit of the doubt the whole time. I said she was going to get at least one of the 4. Not only that, she got her trial split up. So now she still has another trial. I think her legal strategy was all off. But she was convicted today. The jury came back in, I think it was less than 24 hours. They haven't deliberated.
It was 7 hours, I believe. Just
right.
7 hours.
Well, it wasn't even a whole day that they deliberated. Those people want to go home. Okay, they want to go home. They stick a Marilyn Mosby, but she was convicted, and she looked good though.
Well, some people are feeling sorry for her now.
I really
do.
do.
You do. Oh, why do you feel sorry for her, Chris?
I just honestly, I don't like the way that the justice system is operating now. Like, and you guys, we're paying for these show trials. I mean, like, give her a fine, make her pay the money back. But like, really, what are we doing? We know she's not a criminal. Were we gonna send her to jail? Right. Like, really? I mean, like, seriously, what she did was in bad taste. Yes, it was bad that she took out money out her 401k or her pension as a hardship loan. Like, yeah, these are all unethical and bad things, but y'all, like, the prisons, like, really,
Crystal, I say that I believe this for a long time, not because of Marilyn Mosby, who I did not vote for, would never vote for, but I don't think everybody who commits a crime needs to go to jail. So in this, particularly this kind of crime, how we're going to pay for her to be in jail?
We paying to put her in jail, like we paying for, like,
she needs to pay back. She needs to pay back what was taken. I don't think every crime needs to have jail time. I just think it's a waste, and a waste of our finances, a waste of our time. Yes, she can be convicted. She should get whatever, community service, whatever.
I don't think they should have even had a trial. Like, honestly, like, they're doing the same thing with Trump. They did the same thing with the whole, like, come on, these people. It's all a show. It's really weaponizing the justice system. Seriously.
Oh, I think I agree with you there in a lot of ways.
Well, not only that, you guys agree with most of the social justice prosecutors in this end, because they believe, they believe
the broken clock is right twice a day.
I always make a distinction between violent crime and non-violent crime.
Well, I do believe. I mean, first of all, this isn't just any old person out on the street who doesn't know they were doing this, don't know they were doing something wrong and didn't know the consequences. She is an attorney, a representative of the law, and she knew exactly. When you talk to most attorneys, they are sticklers when it comes to this type of stuff. They're very, they know the legalese, they know what's right and what's wrong when it comes to this type of stuff. And ones that are about, honest attorneys, they don't like, doing this. They don't like doing things that are going to be something that they can get in trouble for. And not only that, but it's this thinking, to me, especially on the left, that these people are above the law. And again, I think this is very different than Donald Trump. I do. I think this is very different than what's going on with Trump. He is clearly somebody who has been targeted. He has been targeted by.
I don't think she was targeted.
I don't think she was targeted.
Definitely.
I really don't.
No, I don't think she was targeted. I do think that. See, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier about Social Security. Why is the government managing our money for us any damn way? So it was her money. Granted, I'm not saying that she didn't. I'm not saying she didn't lie on that. I'm not saying that. But why is it a crime to take loans on your own damn money? Well, again, we can debate that. Nevertheless, she was charged. She was convicted. Again, I do agree that back to empowering these prosecutors and all of these, it's too much. Every damn thing is illegal. It's too much, and everything. There's too much government. The government is too big.
Here's why I say she was targeted. Here's why I say she was targeted. She's been targeted for a while because these Baltimore Blacks don't know how to just make the city better mind your business. You got to be on TV. You got to be popping your neck. You got to be calling out the mayor, like the governor. Like, you remember she called out Governor Hogan. She was like, the likes of these. I don't even want to talk. Like, make your city better. Keep your head down. Work your ass off. And nobody would care if you bought 7 houses in Florida, because you would have bought some friends by the time you have done it. But you want to be a star, and you want to be a show, and you want to be on the steps. Okay, then this is what you get. And that's the same thing that y'all accuse 45 of. Fine. But at least he made things better. This girl has not made anything better, and then going to piss off all the people that's in the city. And all they did was piss her off back. And I don't like it. It doesn't stop, you guys. You don't think that something else is going to happen with somebody else, and something else is going to happen with somebody else? I don't like it.
In that sense, I agree with you. In that sense, as far again, it just empowers the government. The more prosecutorial discretion, it just keeps. It's no end to it in that sense. Again, I don't even think from the premise.
To me, she committed fraud. And you know, this stuff is circular. You know, you guys, some people don't connect the dots, but her defrauding the 401k and things
it's
like
her
that.
Money.
No, it's the way that it's everything is set up a certain way.
Yeah, I know how to. I got that
to deal with. Yes, it's her money, but there are certain stipulations put into play that prohibit you from doing things, because you mess up the payouts, you mess up the system. It's fraud. And
I hear what you're saying, KJ, but I was going to why do we need the government managing our money for us?
This is what people say about insurance too. So they say, I pay insurance, you know, I pay my insurance bill for years and years. And if I have a claim, even though my policy states it's not covered, you should pay it, because I haven't had any claims in 20 years and I need to get this claim paid, because even though it's not necessarily it should be paid. You are committing fraud.
I agree.
If you don't have something that's covered in your policy, but to withdraw money from your own 401k,
we know what's right. We know what's wrong. Follow the rules. The rules are not for. It's not just just because you're who you are doesn't mean you cannot follow the rules.
I agree. I agree 100% with what you said. I agree that she was fraudulent. I agree that she behaved badly. When we talk about throwing these people in jail, having trials, girl, your name was signed on the letter saying like, why are we going through this? And the only people that suffer are the taxpayers. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weaponized government.
She should have taken a plea. That's another thing. She knew she did it. Why? If you're talking about saving the taxpayers,
I agree.
I think her legal strategy was awful.
Yeah, she should have taken a plea. She should. We wouldn't have to go through all this. They do try, to do that to avoid taxpayer money. These prosecutors try for, to settle out of court. But she thought she was just she's still trying to get over. She's still trying to what do you call it? To game the system, and she lost. She rolled the dice and she lost.
Yeah.
And now there's consequences. I doubt if she'll go to jail.
I don't know.
She's gonna go to jail.
We had a local politician, a delegate here that went to jail, Cheryl Glenn and Catherine Pugh.
Yeah. She's gonna go to jail. And it's sad. It's sad that she can't just make the city better and mind your business. Make the city better.
Make the city better. She didn't make the city better.
That's what I'm saying. Why they can't just make the city better?
Let me tell you something. A lot of times with this type of stuff, this is what she got caught doing.
Agreed.
No telling what this woman has done, and she hasn't been caught yet. Or I should go farther to say it could not be proven. Where there's smoke, there's fire. She's probably done more than this. We already know there were more charges brought up against her and her husband. He got out of some of it. And then she was the one that got caught.
Well, he hasn't been charged of anything. It was the ethical thing as far as the donations.
Ethical thing. So, but you know, I want to acknowledge we do have a super chatter here. Donald,
thank
you so much. We appreciate this. We really do appreciate these super chatters. It does help with our production. It does help with us to put forward this content. So thank you so much. I
want to respond to one of our we got a comment on here. Frank Mendoza, the angry 2 black dark woman. What the hell is he talking about?
Oh, it's okay.
No, it's not okay. It's ignorant.
Well, I mean, he knows when he's talking. I'm dark.
Well, whoever he is, 3 of us, so 2 out of the 3.
I'll be one of them.
It's ignorant. It's ignorant.
I'll take one dark spot. Thank you, Frank. Just keep commenting, baby. It helps with the algorithms.
Yeah.
It's ignorant.
Angry 2.
Keep commenting. It helps the algorithms, sweetheart.
Angry 2 black. Maybe he meant to say, I don't know.
I'll take one of those slots.
Okay. All right. Well, we did want to go over that, bring that to you all. Again, that is Marilyn Mosby, a social justice prosecutor here in Baltimore, who was convicted today on 2 counts of fraud. Here we are. Let's see. We have another comment here. Frank Mendoza must be a bitter liberal. Yeah, well, you can't.
He's a leftist because they're the only ones who focus on race anyway and skin color.
I say, a leftist, right? And you know,
he
have a leftist without bitter.
He on the wrong podcast if he think he can bait us on skin color. Yeah. I'm unfazed, baby.
Yeah, I'm
so. We're black and beautiful.
Period.
It doesn't matter to me.
It was still ignorant. That's what leftists do. They're ignorant about that. So yeah.
Isn't that so funny how we just laughed at it? That's how, because nobody felt tricked. Do you feel like you're not safe? Do you feel unsafe, KJ?
Right. We do need to make this is a safe space.
Oh my God. I feel so unsafe.
I need a razor blade. I need to go cut my wrist.
Safe space where we do the work to create a safe space that is equitable, that is inclusive, that is equitable, that is safe. We do the work.
You don't understand how hard it is to be a black female. You don't understand. You don't understand.
We are people of color. We are what they say?
Black and brown.
Black and brown.
We're opened up to violence. That he opened us up to violence.
Yeah.
Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya.
Frank, you on the wrong podcast, sweetie. You on the wrong podcast. Go on Vivica A. What's that podcast they got?
Go on to Joy Reid.
Yes. Joy.
Yeah, go on that, baby.
The readout.
Reid. There's a black dark spot for you.
Yeah.
He don't know. We've been called so many names.
Yeah.
Life is good over here, baby.
Yeah.
It's still ignorant, but okay.
Right. But you do get acknowledged here because we want to be inclusive.
We
want to be we acknowledge ignorance.
Inclusive.
We acknowledge you.
We acknowledge ignorance, yes.
I hope you feel heard and I hope you feel seen, Frank.
Yeah, heard and seen. And we do the work.
We do the work.
We work to make sure that you are seen, you are heard.
Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya.
This is good TV, y'all. This is good TV.
All right. So that's about it for tonight. Any last thoughts, ladies?
No.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
All right. 3 black spots on the show. So
no, just 2, KJ. Stop trying to take mine.
No, I'm black. I just have the light on. Yeah, I'm actually blue. So the lighting is really working for me. I am actually blue. But this lighting is, making me look brown. So,
so he must have meant me. Okay,
yeah.
whatever.
Y'all better not try to take my spot. I'm taking one.
All right, KJ and I'll split the second one.
Yeah. All right, that's enough. So again, you can find us here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. This is a special broadcast where we were responding to the RNC debate last night. We had to do a special broadcast for that. Please like, share, and subscribe to Pop in Politics on YouTube. Share this in a DM to your friends, to family, post it on your social media walls. And again, click that notification bell so you know when we post content and when we are on here. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, count your blessings and live a life of purpose. Our purpose is to be Black spots.